All right, everyone, get ready because today we're doing something a little different. We're ditching the usual global weather patterns and zeroing in, laser focus on a personal forecast.
Exactly. We're talking hyperlocal down to the individual traveler kind of stuff.
And to keep things interesting, we're sending our hypothetical traveler to, drumroll please, Misiones, Argentina, ready to explore a whole week of weather in one specific spot. Let's go.
Buckle up.
Okay, so we always like to start with the source, right? For this deep dive, we're looking at, well, it's not just one weather app or website.
It's way more than that. Think like a custom blend of the most reliable forecasts we could get our hands on, all tailored to Misiones.
Like a weather smoothie, but with less kale and more atmospheric data.
Exactly. We've sifted through the noise so you don't have to.
So what does this bespoke weather forecast tell us about Misiones next week?
Well, let me tell you, if you're heading to, say, Eldorado,
Yeah.
Monday, Tuesday, pack your heat wave gear.
Heat wave, huh? How hot are we talking? Give us a number.
37 degrees Celsius.
Ooh, that's toasty. But doesn't it usually feel even hotter there?
You know it. Humidity's going to be brutal. I think it'll feel closer to 40. That's because of this stubborn high-pressure system, kind of like a heat dome, just parked right over the region.
So no escaping the heat. And I know Misiones usually get some wind this time of year, right? From the north?
Yeah, pretty typical. And this northeast wind, while it can bring some moisture from, the Amazon basin.
Well done. Does that mean,
Good.
could it get tropical? Even with the heat wave?
Sketching on. We're talking about the potential for some wild weather interactions here. And that's where things get really interesting midweek, Wednesday, Thursday.
What happens? The wind changes.
Big time. We're expecting a cold front to sweep in from the south, drastically changing the game.
Okay, before we dive into that, I gotta ask, because I know Misiones has some pretty dramatic changes in elevation. Do those hills play a role in all this?
Huge role. Think about it. You've got this cooler air from the south slamming into those slopes, forcing the warm, moist air upwards. Orographic lift, we call it.
Catchy. So basically the hills are making their own weather.
Exactly. And that means, yep, you guessed it, rain. Could be anything from a sprinkle to a serious downpour, especially on those south-facing slopes.
Wow, so you could be hiking up one side of a hill, bone dry, then reach the top and bam, rainstorm.
Mother Nature, at her finest. Unpredictable, a little chaotic. That's what makes it fun.
Fun for us, maybe not so much for our hypothetical traveler who packed all wrong. So what's the takeaway here? What should someone actually do with all this weather intel?
Pack for anything. I'm talking swimwear and sunscreen right next to a light jacket and waterproof hiking boots. Always good to have options, right?
And maybe an umbrella.
Uh-huh.
So from scorching heat to potential downpours, all influenced by these microclimates created by the terrain.
And remember, this is just a tiny snapshot of the incredible interconnected system that is our planet's weather.
Mind-blowing. Big thanks to everyone for joining us today as we, completely geeked out on Misiones weather. Who knows, maybe next deep dive will dissect your local forecast. Until then, stay curious.